Last Epoch. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been hearing about this game for a minute, and I wasn't feeling Diablo 4. Didn't try it, but I didn't need to based on what I've seen for the coverage. Even more so considering how Diablo Immortal kind of came onto us, for lack of a better term. Anyway, I've been looking for a good ARPG ever since Diablo 3, so I wanted to give this one a shot. My PC, just for the record, has a Ryzen 5 3600 CPU and a Radeon RX 55 GPU, which meets the minimum requirements to run this game properly. So I'm going to leave it at that. Upon logging onto the game for the first time, there were many character options available, and that was just fire. It was very digestible with the fact that I can view all the masteries, the skills available for each to kind of make a more educated decision about what type of character I wanted to run. There's nothing crazy. I just like the options available to me. It did not feel overwhelming. Nothing feels hidden regarding the classes, and they all have some great effects and abilities. Basically, it was not an easy choice for my first character, but a fun choice nonetheless. I wouldn't say I play these games for the story. It is always going to be crafting the best build from pieces I earn in combat. However, I do respect developers that try to create a story and do it good. Saying all that to say, I did watch the cutscenes I'm referring to, and pay attention. It looked nice. Initial combat is repetitive and simple, but that's how it is initially. You don't have a lot of abilities or anything unlocked aside from basic attack. So it's not a shot. That's just the reality, as I've only have a basic attack and can move freely. That's about it. Game does look nice. Not the most graphical impressive. Obviously my PC is not one to test it anyway, so whatever. But I don't care about that in terms of the gameplay and itemization being better. For me, that's more of a factor. I'm enjoying the gameplay. The voice acting is a plus, and the environments I'm fighting in look good. That is the case with regard to combat being repetitive, as I mentioned earlier, because you have no abilities, special equipment, etc. Once I leveled up and I unlocked my first ability, that's when you can start to see the potential Last Epoch has. Each skill can be specialized, making it so you can place a lot of effects and abilities into that one skill. Pretty much you have a skill, and then you can have a skill tree on that skill to really make that particular skill. I don't know. What's the fucking, like, you can change the effect. Obviously, you can make the attack stronger. You can make it proc better. And I feel like there's just so many combinations with that. And the fact that you can change elements, etc., combine it with other skills. And again, I'm new. I'm just watching this from my screen and my screen only, no build guide, lookups, whatever. So I'm saying that to say that I am literally I'm nowhere near level 10 yet, and I can already see so much flexibility and customization options available to me. So it's very promising immediately. Regarding the skill trees, passive skills, you can see the potential of combining certain damage types and proc chains, piling on one type of damage type and even changing it completely to another to help activate other skills. Basically, you can make your character OP, and you have much more creative control over how your character performs compared to other ARPGs, excluding Path of Exile. I did kind of check out how that looks, but that is a different type of engagement. Anyway, moving on. Progressing through the story is easy, at least for my first initial run. I started on hardcore and wasn't paying attention to my health, so I lost when I died and continued from a standard playthrough, which was pretty cool. I actually might just redo it from hardcore again now that I have a better flow and just cadence for how things are going. Gameplay is cool. Growing more fun as I unlock new abilities, skill points, and gear that enhances my character. Enemy variety is pleasant as well, with many mobs introducing themselves early on so I can test out my new abilities. Again, all cool. Exploration is okay. I would, if there was a meter, it'd be more towards the minimum area, if that makes sense, because there's only shrines that you can unlock for a small speed boost, critical chance. It doesn't last that long, but again, I'm very early. Maybe there's ways to increase that. So that's just an early impression opinion. There are some chests that you can get as well that may have equipment. Again, just nothing too crazy, but that's what I've saw so far in my initial playthrough. Anyway, at this point, I have no regrets. Nothing to complain about unless I try to nitpick, and that to me is a great thing. It wasn't until I killed my first Uber boss that I started to see something wrong. There was an orange shiny piece on the ground where he died, and I couldn't interact with it or even see what it was. I wasn't too pressed. To be honest, I didn't think too much on it at the time. I took that as something that didn't apply to me or my class or character overall. Side note, I've been playing a lot of Grim Dawn before, so my mind just went in that direction with regard to how the loot filter was set up in Grim Dawn, even though, again, I didn't do one here. Again, I just wasn't tripping because I didn't think it just applied to me. I didn't think it was a bug. Unfortunately, I started to see additional items I could not interact with. When I saw another red item that I couldn't touch or even see what it was, what I decided to do was just recheck my loot filter and see what was going on. I reset it. Unfortunately, nothing changed. So at that point, I saw that as a massive bug if I couldn't pick up or even look at the loot drops. Again, character progression, the loot drops, the equipment, it helps amplify your defense, abilities, resistances, etc. So not having access to that is to limit your character progression overall. That was when I knew something was wrong. Leveling is slow overall if you're not able to pick up better equipment as you level up. So unfortunately, what I did was uninstall and have the game refunded to me. Now, there's obviously anyone who's been checking Last Epoch knows about the developers, or a little bit. Pretty much these are independent developers, and they've been working hard behind the scenes with multiple patch updates. So I gave it some time. Again, it wasn't like I'm going to Diablo 4. And with regard to Path of Exile, no shade, I wanted to kind of wait to the second one just to kind of see what the hype was about that game. I had to look into, like, when I was checking out the beginning of Path of Exile, I needed to get like a loot filter installed, just extra third-party things, and it just gave me Destiny vibes. I don't really feel like going to a third-party source just to make the original game work or function. No shade or nothing. Like, the game came out when it came out, and the community helped out, but that's just where I'm at in 2024. So keeping that pushing, what I did was I was checking Last Epoch, and again, just the gameplay is just hooking me. I re-downloaded or repurchased the game and re-downloaded it. So I'm going back in. Hopefully the bugs have been cleared up, and yeah, that's my impression for an hour playthrough and some change. Cheers.